In this tutorial, we will learn how to solve a system with 3 variables using a calculator. Since our calculator cannot graph in 3 dimensions, we will have to use a different feature, and that is called a matrix. You can see the matrix button on the left side of your calculator. Hit second matrix, and the first thing we need to do is edit to put our data in. We will edit matrix A, and it's calling for 2 dimensions here. A matrix is defined by how many rows of data versus how many columns. And if we look at our example problems that we have solved by hand, we had 3 rows of data and 4 columns, X, Y, Z, and the constant. And you can see then that it opens up an array with room for 3 equations with 4 pieces of information in each one. And we will type in the coefficients and the constants. We will not actually type in the variable. So the first equation is 1x plus 2y. We have a negative 5z and negative 12. In the second equation, we have 2x plus 2y minus 3z equals negative 2. And in the third equation, 3x, negative 4y, negative 1z, and 11. You would enter a 0 if one of your variables is missing. All right, let's quit out of here. And then we are going to call up that same matrix, but actually do a calculation on it. Second matrix, one more time. We're going to select the math menu, and it brings up a whole bunch of things that you can do to a matrix. This is a whole field of study in itself. We are just looking for a way to check our work with a new skill that we have learned. So we're going to scroll down until we find the letters RREF, and that stands for Reduced Row Echelon Form. It's not important that you are able to define that. Just know that that's a way that the calculator will quickly run the process of elimination and return to us the answers for X, Y, and Z. So select that task. And then since you could have a whole bunch of different matrices in here, we need to choose the one where our data is actually stored. Second matrix one more time and select matrix A and hit enter. And then we read the result here by saying in the first row, it says 1x plus 0y plus 0z equals 4, or x equals 4. In the second row, we see the equation 0x plus 1y plus 0z equals negative 0.5, or y equals negative 0.5. And in the third row, 0x plus 0y plus 1z equals 3, or z equals 3. Notice the diagonals are x, y, z, and the solved out solutions are for negative 0.5 and 3. And you could then transfer that to an ordered triple and have the solution to this system. The matrix could be used for larger sets of data, but do know that it can only be used when your variables are to the first power. So x squared, absolute value, none of those tasks could be solved with a matrix. Now, let me show you how to do that same task on Desmos if you would prefer to use that. So go to a browser and open up desmos.com/matrix. And you can see a menu that shows some of the same things that your calculator just did. That bottom left button is what we will use. We have to enter the matrix in first. So I'm going to say a new matrix is A. And that matrix has 3 rows and 4 columns. And I'll begin to enter the data in the exact same fashion. 1x, 2y, negative 5z equals negative 12. And repeat for the second row, 2x plus 2y minus 3z equals negative 2. And last row, 3x minus 4y minus z equals 11. Now that we've entered our matrix, we are going to hit enter. And then we are going to choose the RREF, which means reduce it and solve it. And then we will select the matrix which we want to apply that task to, which is matrix A. And then you can see that it quickly solves it off to the side, and we have x equals 4, y equals -1/2, and z equals 3. If you press the fraction bar next to it, it will convert your decimals into a fraction.